Yo, KenBeans here, back with another video. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys 6 things that I wish I knew before going pro. Just for the record, before I get flamed in the comments, I am not a pro. But just because technically I'm not a pro, doesn't mean that I don't know what's involved or the struggles of trying to get to that level. I'm making this video to relate to all the people that are like me. Just like 90% of people on this site, I started out playing on a console with my TV, looking to take my game to the next level. In this video, I'm gonna go into depth about what it takes and some common misconceptions and some theories about going pro. I wanna let you guys know that I appreciate everyone using my code. We got about a week left in this month, and I told you guys if I hit 500 supporters using my code KenBeans in the shop, then I'm gonna give away more V-Buck codes. Let's see by the end of this video if we can reach that goal. Right now we're at 381. I appreciate everyone who uses it. If you want to support me in the best way possible, using my code will help. Trust me on that. It's better than you think. This is gonna be a nice discussion. Let's hop in, man. First thing I wish I knew: the amount of hours and time needed that goes into this. Across every game, so many pros have large amounts of hours played. When it comes to Fort, it's no different. So many kids just hop on and think they're gonna be a pro just because they got all the things they need. It goes deeper than that. I just want to let you guys know that I played roughly over 6,000, maybe even 7,000 hours played on Fortnite. Granted, not the whole thing was trying to become a pro, but I can tell you right now that at the current state of Fortnite, you need to be higher than what I'm playing at. So going back to what I was talking about, the amount of hours and practice needed is literally through the roof. I don't think people can comprehend how much time is needed to go pro. Not only just go pro, but perform at that level. I'm talking people like Savage, Clicks, Booga, Benji. This is kind of leading me into the second thing I wish I knew. It's the hardware that you got. If you want to be a pro on PS5, then go be a pro on PS5. But if you want to compete with the pros, then you need to have the hardware for it. If I had no YouTube channel, no nothing, and I wanted to go pro, I'm going to tell you guys what I think is the basics needed to do. Most people are not going to have these things, and the goal of this video is not to demotivate you. But if you don't have these things, it doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means that you're making the path to pro even harder. I just want to stress though, just because you don't have it doesn't mean you can't do it. Be the person to prove everyone wrong. You need a PC that can hold a stable 144 frames. You need a monitor that's at least 144 hertz. You need a relatively good keyboard with a good actuation point. The same thing goes for the mouse that you have. In case you guys don't know what the actuation point means, it's the time it takes for once you actually press the button to activate in game. If you're on controller, then you need a good controller, maybe something with paddles. I'm gonna be straight with you, the amount of pros that use paddles compared to the amount that don't is extremely high. The headset you got is not the most important thing in the world. You just need that bare minimum thing. You don't need 2 monitors, you only need 1. You don't need fancy stream decks, you don't need none of that. All you need is a monitor, a good keyboard and mouse, or a good controller, and a good GPU and CPU. If you don't have a PC, you're making it really difficult on yourself. The reason why I brought up hardware is because if I knew that from the start and I knew how serious I was about it, I would have bought all the things I needed from the get-go. For example, I would have got a way better keyboard. I would have bought the mouse I wanted at the start. There's just certain things that I bought that I wish I bought this instead. My monitor is a good example of that because I have a 144 hertz, not a 240. I probably should have just spent a little extra money and bought 240 instead. The third thing I want to mention is the amount of solo practice required to get to that next level. I don't think people understand how important it is to be a solo god. If you're that good, you can hop around from person to person, find yourself a god duo or find yourself a god trio. If you don't grind solos, how is someone going to know that you're going to work well with them? Going off this low-key, I wish I would have grinded my PR way harder. Earnings are important, but so is PR if you're looking to join someone else. It shows you're hella consistent. I'm going to tell you guys something that no one talks about. This is something that I've known for a while, and probably you known as well. But the reason no one talks about it is probably just because they're going to get hate somewhere in the comment section or whatever the case may be. If you want to be playing with good people to win money, you need to do one of 2 things. The first one is to have a massive amount of clout. The pro players are going to want to play with you if you have clout behind your name. That's just how the world works, literally. Not everyone falls into this category, but majority of people are like that. No hate to them though, because if I was a pro player in the same shoes as them, I'd be doing the same thing. Best way to get exposure, and both parties are being helped. The second way is to be a really good solo player. Have the PR to back it up, have the mechanics, and have the maturity to play with other people. Mindset is a huge thing, and the more mature you are, the better your mindset is most likely gonna be. So the third thing I wish I told myself: grind way more arena and try every solo cash cup. Regardless if I do bad in the first 7 games, play all of them out. I really wish I did that. I'm probably gonna be doing that in the future. The fourth thing I wish I told myself, I wish I said, Ken, really understand what you want to do. Do you want to be a pro, or do you want to be a content creator? Let me tell you guys something. If I said I wanted to be a pro, then that means I wouldn't be uploading as much. I would probably be losing a lot of money because unless I'm winning money in tournaments, I'd be paying editors to make videos for me so I can practice as much as I can. If I want to have a social media presence, then clearly I'm going to be spending a lot of time editing, and therefore I'm not going to be able to spend as much time as I want trying to get good. Realistically, you do one or the other. I will say though, Arab is a really good example at doing both. If you have efficient time management, it's possible to do both, but it will catch up to you if you go about it the wrong way. Leading to the fifth thing I wish I knew when I started. I wish I said, Ken, I wish someone told me that your mechanics only need to be a certain level. If you can't raise your mechanics as well as your in-game sense or your IQ knowledge about Fortnite at the same time, then you're not going to be able to get to the level you want. In battle royales especially, you need to be able to have a big brain. Even though Nick Merckx doesn't play anymore, he's the best example of what I'm talking about right now. His mechanics were not the greatest, but for the times he was going pro, they were at a high enough level to where he was able to compete because his in-game sense and IQ was extremely high. He was able to outsmart almost everyone he played. There's always going to be that level where your mechanics are just good enough to be a pro, but if your game sense and IQ is way higher, then you can afford to have your mechanics to be a lot lower. So for the fifth one, this is what I'm saying. I wish someone told me no matter how motivated or not motivated I was to play in every single event the hardest I can, no matter how bad my games are going. Use all those tournaments as practice and to gain knowledge about Fortnite competitive. Play a little bit of scrims here and there to really gain knowledge about how endgames work. If my IQ was really high but my mechanics weren't, as a smart individual, I would be able to tell myself what I need to work on so I can work on that skill that I'm bad at. That way I'm rounding out all the bad areas of my mechanics and my game sense will still be really high. Listen, I hope the fifth one doesn't sound too confusing. In really simple terms, I just wish someone told me to be way more consistent with my mechanics, play slow, and outsmart other people. All right, last but not least, this is the sixth thing I wish I knew. This is for all the people that doubt themselves, who constantly put negative thoughts in their head. This is gonna help you. So not everyone can go pro, otherwise 90% of people watching this would already be a pro. So not everyone can go pro, but I do believe anyone can go pro. You dedicate yourself to having the right mindset, the right mechanics. You study a lot of pros, you play a lot of arena, you play a lot of scrims, whatever the case is, and you get a large amount of practice in, and I'm talking large amounts of practice, you're gonna be able to take your game to that next level. Having a mature mindset about this, in my view, is the only way to take it to that pro level. As long as you got the bare minimum for your setup, and as long as you got the time, and as long as you got the patience, you never know, you might be successful. And you know what? I hope most of you are successful. So for the sixth and final thing, I have confidence and patience, because it's not always gonna be going up. Another thing, if you're someone who's in high school or lower than that, you have so much time to build up your socials and find the people you're looking for to grind with. But just remember, you also have to be able to do it yourself, because if you can't do it yourself, having a friend there ain't gonna help you in the long run. So it looks like we all got our work cut out for us. If you want to see my own journey, make sure you hit that sub button and that like button. Just remember, if you actually like the video, make sure you actually like the video. If you have any further questions, or maybe you just want some advice, don't forget to stop by my Twitch channel, link below. By the way, I'm giving away my last V-Buck code to my Twitch chat. So if you want a chance at winning this, just make sure you turn on noties, because I'm going to be doing it at the start of the streams. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do it yet, but I just want to give the people in this video a chance to be aware of that. Hope you guys are enjoying this, and don't forget to check out my second YouTube channel. If you have any ideas for what I should post, leave it in the comments. Listen, I love all you guys. If you made it to the end of this video, you a real one. Shout out to everyone on the screen right now using code KenBeans, and bet I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces, peace.